Mark Richt obviously brought in top 10 to 15 recruiting classes. Georgia was typically a contender in the East, went to a number of SEC championship games, had that remarkable run in 2012 and came that close to getting it done. So the number 3 recruiting class for Kirby Smart last year has only had so much of an impact in terms of talent. It's just in its first year. So I think there's been an impact there, but it's marginal. So there has to be something more. So we were talking about it before we started to record, and your thoughts about more so than just the talent on the field, just a different culture, a different level of leadership in the locker room right now.
Yeah, Coach Kirby Smart talked last week that it wasn't a bye week, it was work week. And the practice that we got to see on Tuesday, I have to completely agree with that statement. His coaching staff led the team like it was. They were facing an opponent on Saturday. They did not let up. They were yelling, hollering, pushing the team to get better and stuff like that. And so when we spoke to Kirby before practice and asked him about it, the culture change and stuff like that, he said it comes down to your senior leadership each season. How the culture of your team is going to come down to how your seniors take control of your team. When you have Nick Chubb, Sony Michel, Lorenzo Carter, Davin Bellamy, guys who came back for a particular reason because they knew the way they finished last year wasn't Georgia football. And they come back and they decide, okay, guys, this is what we're going to do this season. This is how we're going to do it. I know that if I practice hard, the younger guys are going to practice hard. Davin Bellamy, whenever we were interviewing him last week, gave me an awesome quote about the culture change and stuff like that. And he said, I think it comes down to our Tuesdays and Wednesday practice. If I know that the senior leaders and the older guys practice well on Tuesday and Wednesday, that we're going to perform well on Saturday. And when they perform well on Saturday and when they practice well on Tuesdays, these younger guys like Monty Rice, Monty Rice, Lorenzo Carter, Richard LeCount, Walter Grant, Nate McBride, guys that are playing special teams, Mark Webb Jr., all these true freshman guys, and even some of the sophomores like, well, I mean, I can't even, Trent Thompson, David Marshall, I could go on and on and on, but all these guys have just completely bought into like, okay, we have to practice well to play well. And I think that's a big thing to the culture changes, maybe with Mark Ricks, that they didn't think that they could practice as hard. Davin Bellamy said, well, if we didn't think that we thought we were practicing hard before Coach Smart got here, well, we're practicing like 10 times as hard now. I think the message is to practice harder and make practice harder than the game. And I think that's what they're doing so far. And I think that's one of the reasons why it's kind of different. Davin Bellamy also said that this team is different. He said you can almost feel it in the air just walking through campus, coming to practice, doing meetings. There's something different. There's nobody joking around. There's nobody fooling off. Nobody's besides Daytress Patrick getting in trouble. I just think that everybody is completely like zeroed in to one goal, and that is to win an SEC championship.
Sounds like some of Nick Saban rubbed off on Kirby Smart a little bit.
I think so.
Because the one phrase that you used in there about practicing harder than the game and making the game easier than practice, and going at it so hard against each other that you face an opponent and think, okay, this is the easy part because we've done all the hard work and we've really hit and struggled all week, that the opponent is less of a challenge. And I think that's something that Nick Saban has talked about a number of times in Alabama players as well.